Whole callouts are getting a major upgrade in this release of Onshape with the inclusion of automatically calculated quantities when added to a drawing. The quantity value is much more than a simple number, however. When opening the dimension palette, the quantity value provides additional options from a drop-down menu. Here, you can specify how the quantity is calculated. In this first example, the quantity is based on the pattern the hole is a part of with a quantity of 4. Selecting Count by Face from the drop-down, the quantity updates to include all identical holes on the same face, changing the value to 6. Selecting Count by View will include all identical holes in the same view, in this case changing the quantity to 16. Finally, to take this one step further, you can select Count by Part, which will include all of the identical holes on the entire part, regardless of which face or side of the part they are on. In this case, the quantity includes the 6 additional holes on the side faces, increasing the value to 22. This new addition to the whole callout not only makes adding whole callouts faster, it adds a higher level of intelligence and control uncommon in other CAD applications. When creating detail views in Onshape, there is now an option to use a rectangle as the profile shape for the detail view. This includes all of the same options as any other detail view, including the ability to move the view label around the perimeter of the target profile. You can change the view style to use a leader instead of an inline label. And finally, you can also choose to use a connected style, joining the target profile with the detail view. This new setting provides more options for creating detail views in your drawings in Onshape.
New for Render Studio Advanced users is the volumetric entity, which allows you to display fog, smoke, fire, explosions, and other effects. First, you want to make sure you have something that's lit up in your environment. I'm going to apply a few light emission sources to these lamps and apply some value to this. Next, you really want to have a darker background to really get the sense of the effect here. I'm going to go ahead now and include a volume entity from the toolbar and change the size of the volume. It provides a cube centered on the origin. So now we provide value information, and I'm going to decrease my lighting intensity just a little bit here because it really helps things pop out. We have multiple choices for the types of volume sources from me to anisotropic. You can change the color of the albedo if you wish. Let's take a look at this example of the jackhammer. I have an OpenVDB file that I have downloaded from a sample here, one called Explosion. And with this explosion, I can go ahead and locate it here on the screen. I want to set the scale factor for what that cube is for OpenVDB sources. I'll set it to millimeter, and that gets me pretty close here. And of course, light reacts to this very nicely, as you can see, as I rotate this inside of an environment. You can also change the density, temperature, and volume of this particular OpenVDB element. Here in this example, you can see I have light reacting in the darker background here with this automotive example. If I go ahead and put a smoke show in here as this car is doing peel outs, I'm going to go ahead, set scale factor for the bounding box. And now we have a really nice looking model here with the tail lights reflecting light into the smoke cloud as well as the lights above it. And I'm going to set the smoke to be a little bit lighter. And here we are, the 4K resolution.
Your CAM jobs just got a hot new look. They've been Onshapified. The jobs tree features a sleek new interface that's easier and faster to use. Reordering operations now happens in seconds. You can double-click to edit features instantly, and just as easily, delete them with a simple keystroke. Additionally, users can post child operations or individual operations from the context menu of the setup. Right-click the setup to post all child operations, or select the operation you wish to post and choose to post selected operations. This update focuses on speed, control, and an enhanced user experience. Dive in and see for yourself. With this update, users can now apply cutting order strategies for drilling operations. Previously, when holes were selected using selection filters, users had no way to control the cutting order, unless the holes were picked individually in the order they wished to be cut. Now, users can choose from a variety of options such as zigzag, left to right, top to bottom, or most importantly, shortest way, to optimize cycle times and reduce tool travel for drilling operations. While solid bodies are the standard for most design needs, there are times when surfaces can provide more flexibility, and the same concept extends to CAM. In CAM, surfaces provide fine-grained control over tool paths to drive, check, or use as containment boundaries. In this release, working with surfaces in Onshape CAM got easier. Now you have full control over surface normals. Flip all faces at once or invert individual ones with just a click. This gives you better flexibility to handle surfaces without workarounds.
Onshape Variable Studios now support configurations on mobile, iOS, and iPad OS. See here how we can change the actual configuration and the variable values for each configuration change.